channel. It's Diamond, also known as Diamond Denise here. And if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're not new, thank you as always for being loyal. So we are gonna go ahead and jump into this video. I have a list of frequently asked questions. Guys, questions that I get asked all the time on my speech page, the SLP way, on my main page, the Diamond Denise, in my emails, and I want to answer y'all's questions. These questions have 9 times out of 10 been answered in separate videos, have been answered in separate posts, but I know it can be a lot trying to find the answers to those questions that you just really want to know the answer to. So I decided that I would just create a frequently asked question video in regards to all things speech language pathology and including Howard University in that video as well. So let's get into these questions. Question number 1, why did you choose speech language pathology? Well, I was at the time looking for a career path to take. I really wanted to be in the healthcare field or just really be involved in helping people in some capacity. My mom kind of introduced me to the field because she had a friend that had a daughter that was an SLP. So I looked into the field, I looked at it, I kind of found that it was pretty interesting. I went to college. This was during the time I was just getting ready to go to college. I went to college and I took the first phonetics class, and then that class just had me like hooked. I loved that class. That was such a fun class. Now I really don't really like transcribing anything, but back in the day I really did enjoy that class. And I just fell in love with speech language pathology. I said, this is a career for me. I feel like I'll be a great fit. I started doing other research. I started having opportunities to shadow other SLPs, had the opportunity to help with a child who, didn't really receive the speech therapy service he needed after cleft palate surgery due to some hardships that may have, come about his way. But I was able to kind of work with him a little bit, and that was really motivating, really inspiring, really encouraging. And that really just solidified the reason I chose the field. But all that does play an impact in why I really just full-fledged went speech language pathology 100%. What made you choose a career path in medical, clinical, instead of educational school settings? So me personally, I think that kind of just came about once I started grad school. Before that, I really didn't have an idea of where I wanted to work and in what setting. My eyes were just like really open to the different options that we have in this field and the different specialties that we can have as well. So me personally, I always like being challenged. I like things that are gonna challenge me. I like kind of being on my toes. I like not really knowing what I'm getting into that day. So for me, medical was just a little more complex. It was a little more adventurous. It just gave me something to look forward to. And that is why I like the medical side, and specifically acute care. And hopefully one day I can get into the NICU. That is really where I wanna work. I'm really interested in maybe getting back into some cleft palate, craniofacial abnormalities. That might be something that I might get into later down the road. I really like neuro, especially concussion injuries. I like that stuff. I like to be challenged, and that's why I personally chose medical route. And yeah, the schools, I'm sure that the school does bring its challenges, but honestly, I love kids, but I don't love them like that. So kids, honestly, pediatrics just isn't really for me. The next question is, how many colleges did you apply to before attending graduate school and choosing Howard University? Well, so I applied to 2 or 3 schools before, right after I graduated. I did not get accepted to any of those schools. I was on one wait list, and I got denial letters from the other 2. And honestly, y'all, I was a little discouraged. So I ended up taking a year off. I went back home, and I honestly just worked for a year. I even thought about pursuing a career in social work. And yeah, just thought about how could I change my career. But then after that, before that year, I went ahead and already had applied to Howard University and a few other schools, and I was put on some waiting lists, and I got accepted to Howard University, and of course I took it because, oh, why not? So I applied to a few schools prior to. I know that getting into grad school can be very competitive, can be very challenging, but keep applying, don't give up. You will get accepted to a school. I remember seeing a question asking how many schools did I apply to that had the medical route. Prior to applying to grad school, I really didn't consider the whole medical route, school route, what have you. But I do think that is really important. That's something that no one told me. I didn't really find that online. Like, I just didn't know. And I actually was just, you know, utilizing some of the experiences that I learned in grad school. I feel like that's an important question to look for. So if you think that you're interested in something, I would say, you know, apply to schools that have those interests. I ran into so many people that had nothing but medical externships, and they were really, really prepared for their CF because they've been in hospital settings, medical settings for the last year, the last 2 years. So it can definitely make or break and help you. So the next question is, what is the most ideal housing, apartment living advice do you recommend when attending Howard University? So for me, I lived in Maryland, guys. Maryland for me was like 30-minute drive. I lived in College Park, Maryland. There is also the DMV. You can live in the District of Columbia, Virginia, or Maryland. They're pretty close. You can get to DC in like 30 minutes, even if you live in Virginia or Maryland, depending on where you live. I personally enjoyed my experience. I had other cohort members that lived in the city and they seemed to enjoy it. However, it is definitely more expensive. So from my point of view, I would say just live outside of the city and just commute back and forth if you can, if you have the means to do so, because I feel like you kind of get the best of both and you'll save money because it's definitely cheaper. And I think Maryland is definitely cheaper to live in than Virginia. Am I able to work and attend grad school? So attending grad school for me was very, very challenging. Like, graduate school is a lot. It's very much an intense program, and I actually worked throughout my time at grad school. I worked as a server at a restaurant that was closer to where I live, far from where I went to school, but I only worked on the weekends. So you can do it, it can be done, but with that there will be sacrifices. The next question is, even though you were in a master's program, did you still get to enjoy the HBCU life? Again, for me, I worked, so that was time that I sacrificed. But I do think, and this is at any college probably, it was the same experience I had when I was in my undergrad program, my first time going to college for my freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year at the University of South Alabama. They bring everything to the college students' dorms, to the housing. Like, everything is catered to freshmen and sophomores and juniors and seniors more than graduate school, in my opinion. So I feel like that was the same at Howard. Everything was catered to them. Of course, they're gonna put all the flyers in their dorm. They're gonna put every event in the cafeteria hall, like where the students are going, the main students that live on campus are at. So I think you have to either join some graduate student councils, join some clubs, join some teams, so you're aware about what's really going on campus. And that's gonna be your way just to get that full experience that you probably think you really want. Or just like talk to people, see what's going on campus, or just, you know, put yourself out there. That's really the only way. But remember, you are going to be at an externship site in the morning, and then you're gonna probably be having classes in the evening, at least if you go to Howard. So that's your whole day. So Monday through Friday, you're gonna be probably so busy. You're like, I don't know when you're gonna really have time to go try to really be on campus. Scores does Howard look for on the GRE? I don't remember, but that can be Googled. I honestly don't remember. And honestly, whatever school you're going to, just apply. Like, I know that schools look for a certain GRE, but just apply. Don't let a GRE keep you from applying. I know plenty of people that applied to other schools that had low GRE scores or one of the lowest GRE scores and still got accepted. So the GRE score is just a number. I think that's what it's more about. I feel like we put a lot of emphasis on, like, you know, scores and numbers, and I think that stuff is important to an extent, but at the end of the day, like, social skilks, like how you are personally, how you can build rapport with people, that's what really matters. Because I've met a lot of SLPs who are book smart but don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to interact with people. They're rude and mean. They're not sensitive. They're not all these things that you have to be. It's not just what you know in the textbook, but it's how you interact with this person that matters as well. So think about that. Next question is, do you feel that Howard prepared you for this career? Of course I do. I definitely feel that Howard prepared me. I definitely feel that I learned a lot at Howard. Like, I mean, that was like my foundation, and it just builds. This career is lifelong learning. You're always gonna learn. You never stop learning. This is forever, okay? Forever, ever. Was it easy finding jobs after school? Was it easy to find a job? No, I don't think it was easy to find a job, especially because I wanted medical. But if I was willing to go to a skilled nursing facility or sign up to go on one of these travel companies or sign up to go to any school, those are kind of easy to get into because I feel like they're just readily available. And they were like ready to hire. Like that's not gonna be the hard part. I think if you want medical, it is gonna be more challenging, but it can be done. Don't let anybody tell you it can't. People told me I wasn't gonna get into a medical job. People told me all this stuff, bruh. I don't know. I never care what people say. Well, let me stop lying. I have prior to, but I started to develop this thing where like, it don't matter what you say. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm gonna do. I have these goals and dreams and aspirations. I will get there. So I'm telling you, you will too. If you want to be in a medical facility, you will get it. You just need to put in the work. Back to the question about how I'm preparing you, you know, when I came here, like my supervisors, they were like, wow, like you had this course, this course, this course, you had this lesson. Like I took MBS IMP, which is a modified barium swallow study, impairment profile. Expensive, but my supervisor, my professor, she was so dope, and she was like, we're taking this, y'all are doing this, and it really stood out on my resume. So shout out to Dr. Davis. Shout out to her. Those are all the questions that I have. I hope that this video is very helpful and answered some of your questions. If I need to be more specific in any area, if I didn't answer some questions that you really wanted answered, please let me know. I'm gonna compile another list of frequently asked questions, and maybe I'll make a part 2 because I'm sure I overlooked something, and I definitely do not want to leave you guys hanging. I want to pull you guys up. I'm that girl that like all of us gonna win, all of us can do it. Like, let's go. I want y'all to have it easier than I had. I want you guys to be more aware of things than I was when I was starting off. Like I've told so many people on my journey, like I am all about sharing my authentic experiences, my journey in the field of speech language pathology and the impact we make together. And when I was looking for, you know, SOPs, when I was looking for advice, when I was looking for resources, that stuff was not available. So I am about to be putting out all this stuff for y'all because I feel like I want to help y'all. I want to make it easier for you guys. You already have so many other things to worry about. Like, why worry about this stuff when somebody can help you? Like, so that's all I have for you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
And girl, you're a blessing. I never wanna see you stressing. Cause baby girl, you're a blessing.